Interactive Central and Eastern Europe Festival.
Now I work for a large PR agency. We have 80 offices across the globe. And often my team with research and analytics has to work across multiple markets to help people understand how you can start to bring insights into your planning process. Because if you don't, what you end up with a lot of the time are some of those bad ads that I know people have been talking about today, which just don't really inspire, they're not relevant, and they're not going to connect with your customers. And what that comes down to, for me, at the end, is really a question of head versus gut. So I think it's in pretty much all of our agencies, and I've been talking to people throughout the conference, so it's not just PR, it's also media, it's also creative agencies, this deep-held belief that you have to trust your instincts, even if you actually have no good reason for what you're saying. So this is what has happened to me, and therefore I believe it to be true, and no one can sway me from that perspective. But what I hear when people say that they're going to start going on gut feeling is something a lot more like this image behind me. I can feel the bloat. I can feel it coming on. And I think you get that with a lot of research and analytics people. Because our role really is to start to say we want to unleash the creativity that sits within all of our agencies. But in order to do that, we have to take a step back first and set a good foundation for understanding our customers, because they're getting a lot less patient with all of the marketing that we're putting out and all of the content that we're producing. So my first role when I came into FH and EMEA was to start to help them set up that foundation and take on a little bit of a journey to get to a place where we're more insight-driven and using less gut thinking. And this will be the only FleishmanHillard slide I use today. But what that's turned out to be for us is FH Content Works, which is really a network of studios across the globe that allow us to think about how we can localize content, how we can manage multiple markets, how we can start to do tracking, reporting, and insight generation across really large multi-market programs that feed back and continually improve our planning processes. So why does this matter now? Mostly because we're all producing more content. From this year, 69% of marketers are creating more content now than they were a year ago. So all of us have to be a little bit more considerate, because if 69% of us are creating more content, that also means the space is getting more and more and more crowded, and our ability to cut through the noise that Lawrence has already shown us a picture of becomes more and more limited.